I've been getting spammed with comments asking, I don't have money for ads. What strategy would you use if you had to get clients for free? And look, I get it. 5 months ago, I was in the exact same spot as you are. And see, in this video, I'm gonna do even better than that. I'm gonna give you guys a strategy which I only know 2 guys who are using, and they both make over $17,000 a month. Now I'm Andres. I went from being a drug-addicted scaling agency to $36,000 a month in 5 months. And so I decided to document my process scaling a new agency from beginning all the way to 7 figures so that you guys could do the same. So you probably heard the saying, fancy fails, simple scales, right? And it's true. And so let's get right into this easy-ass 3-step process. First off, we're gonna use Instagram. It's by far the best platform. And if you guys have been on Instagram, you probably realize response rates are like way down. But that's because of a simple problem that you can fix, right? But first you have to understand why it happens. And it's that when you're sending spammy messages and DMs to all your prospects who hate getting pitched, they don't want to get pitched, they're not going to answer. And when they don't answer, Instagram assumes that you're spamming people, right? And because of that, it starts sending your messages to the hidden folder and nobody ever gets to see your messages in the first place. So obviously you're not going to convert. Obviously you're not going to get sales. So the first thing we have to do is we have to counteract that problem. Now, the way we're going to do that is with super personalized intro messages, right? And the best way to do that, or the easiest piece of information to make it personalized, is just check out their profile, click on their profile, and find a post that's interesting to you. It could be a picture, it could be a reel, whatever. And just when you DM them the first message, make some kind of comment about that post, right? Because then it's going to show that you're genuine. You're actually taking the time to look at what they have. Right? And then after that, you're going to ask a question. That way they're more likely to respond. Now, I want to give you guys as much value as possible, right? So I'm going to show you guys the exact process I would use. This is my business partner, Stefan. Let's pretend he was a fitness coach because that's from my old agency. So let's look for something cool to comment on. Here, beautiful mountain shots, right? It says it's in Alberta. So now I would go to his DMs and I might say something like, those mountain shots at Alberta are insane. Question, do you train athletes, right? And so what this does is, again, number 1, we're commenting, showing that we're genuine. And number 2, we're asking a question to solicit a response. And one huge note to take note of is the language that I'm using is for the niche specifically. It's for fitness coaches. So it's very light. It's very casual. If you're working with lawyers, obviously it's not going to be the same. Yes, this will take up more time because it's personalized, but that's actually great because it also solves our second problem. And it's that too many of you guys send like 100 DMs a day, 200 DMs a day. How could Instagram not think you're a spammer? Right? Obviously it will. And so then it'll start putting your messages into the hidden folder. And again, nobody will ever see them. Right? So with this strategy, we're going to send less volume. And in fact, one of my buddies, he did $48,000 last month, cash collected only from Instagram, only sending 50 to 70 new messages per day. And so that goes to show you, if you have the right acquisition systems, scaling becomes so easy. You don't have to send 300, 400, 500 messages a day. It's just about sending the right messages. Right? So let's get into step 2. I'll show you guys how to do that. So the second step is called the re-engagement stage. And cutting straight to it, it's basically a qualification question. And think about it like this. SMMA is like girls. No guy wants to get with a girl that's already been with 1,000 other dudes, right? You don't want to do it because she already has too many bodies, right? And it's the same thing in the agency space. Nobody wants to work with an agency that will take on any client, right? That will work with anybody as long as they have a brain and they have money. Nobody wants to work with that agency. Right? And so by asking a qualification question, it makes it seem like you have to meet a certain criteria to work with us, which elevates our status and doesn't make us seem as much like scammers, right? And so the best topics for these qualification questions are usually either money, deals, or like some interesting topic, interesting fact about the niche that you're working in. And so that brings us to the third and final step, right? And here, you're not going to be a lazy bitch. You're going to look up the prospect's name. You're going to find their number. You're going to pick up your phone and you're just going to dial them, right? You're going to call them. And if they don't answer, guess what we're going to do? We're going to call them again. Exactly, right? And the best software to do this is using Skype, right? It's like $5. You can make like unlimited calls, I think. So Skype's definitely the best software to do that. And if you want to see my script that I use on those calls, look in the description. I'll put my exact script that I use word for word. That way you can copy it and you won't have to waste time trying to figure it out. right? So go look in there. I'll show you guys all that stuff. But if they don't answer either of those calls, you're going to send them what's called a mass market message, right? It's basically a 1-minute video you're going to have pre-recorded that you're going to send to all of your prospects whenever they don't pick up the phone and you have to send them this video, right? And so if you want to see the exact script I use for that, again, go in the description. I'll put the doc there with the word-for-word script. That way you don't have to waste hours and hours and hours trying to figure it out because I already have, right? But to give you a brief general overview of kind of what it looks like, at the beginning, introduce yourself, right? Then in the middle, guarantee an offer. What do you do? What's your guarantee? Get them interested, hook them in, right? And then at the very, very end, you're going to pitch them to get on a phone call with you, right? 10-minute phone call. Keep it very light. There's no friction. A phone call, they could take it in the car. They could take it whenever. That way they're more likely to actually do it, right? And then on that phone call, you're basically just going to triage them. If you know what that means, you're basically going to talk with them a little bit and then book them in for a second call, right? And that's the call, the demo call, where you're actually going to close the deal. The resources are in the description. Go check them out. Now, guys, thank you for watching. If you liked it, if you found value, please subscribe, like the video, whenever other BS. If you have any questions, as always, leave them in the comments or message me on Instagram at Andres Contreras official. I don't have Instagram, so I probably won't answer, but maybe eventually I will. Who knows? But besides that, have a blessed day, boys. Keep on grinding.